Sup nerds, I'm Tom. Today we're going to talk about Marvel Battle World. I'm going to talk about just the game as a whole. I also have the Thanos and Ultron packs, so I'm going to talk about those a little bit. They changed the game up a bit, so I'll devote a little bit of time to them. Marvel Battle World is a collectible and very much targeted at kids game. It's very cartoony. The pieces are really toy-like, and the game is very simple. It's cooperative, which is good. You flip over a deck of bad cards, right, like villains and stuff, and then you have your hero, and you move your hero to go and fight a villain, and you roll a single die to fight the villain, and that's it. It's a D12 that's included in the game. All the villains have target numbers saying, okay, well, you need to roll a 7 or higher or an 8 or higher in order to beat this villain. And your heroes have little stats like modifiers, and then there's little symbols. So if this blue swirly do, right, if you're fighting against a villain that has this blue swirly do, your blue swirly do is a +4, so whatever you roll, you add 4 to that. Your hero might also have a little special ability, a little text on there. You're going to go and fight a villain, you roll the die. If you're successful, you'll move your little hero onto the success track. If you fail, you'll move... The villain has a little bad track on the top of the card as well. If either of those tracks reach the end, you either win or lose the battle. If you win a certain number of battles, you win the game. If you lose a certain number of battles, you lose the game. Very simple, very straightforward. That is pretty much the whole game. I mean, there's a couple other little things, but the other bigger thing is there's this Thanos stone or whatever. This is the collectible aspect of the game. You have these little orange... They look like eggs that you crack open. If you a card will come out and say, open up the Thanos stone. If you beat that card, then you get to crack open this little egg and you get a new hero and a new card. You can use it in that game right there. And that is the collectible part, the sort of legacy, I guess, because once you crack it open, I mean, I guess you could put the mini in the card in something else and just know that, you know what it is, but hey, this hero isn't unlocked until we get to this point. At the end of the day, this is very, very much a kid's game. I would never play this game by myself or with just my buddies, but I have lots of nieces and nephews, so, getting them to learn about stats, right, and modifiers, they're doing adding, right, and they're making strategic decisions. Well, my character is really good against the blue swirly do, and your character is really good against the brain. So I should go and fight this guy that's the blue swirly do, and your character should go and fight this dude that's the brain. Oh, and if those cards are right next to each other, I can actually give you a little benefit with my special ability. That's good stuff, right? I'm glad that that's in the game. I think this is a great game to teach kids that type of thing. But in terms of age, I think it's kind of a narrow age range. My nephew who lives near me is 5, and we recently played Ticket to Ride First Journey, and he was kind of getting that. So I think that this might be a little bit too much for him right now. Maybe in a couple of months or a year or so when he gets a little bit older, I'll show it to him and I think he would like it. So it's always hard to recommend games to kids at certain ages because it's, your 5-year-old might be different from another 5-year-old, So it's hard to tell exactly where the line is. Maybe a 5-year-old, maybe your 5-year-old can get it, maybe your 6-year-old, maybe your 7-year-old, but your 13-year-old would probably be bored by it. It's a little bit too light once you start getting, if the kid has ever played Magic, then yeah, this is way too light. Now, the Ultron and Thanos packs are both two very different things. The Ultron pack is actually like a hero. You're just basically purchasing that hero, but they come in it comes in that little plastic case thing with a little spinner at the bottom, so it's more travel friendly. I don't know why traveling with a die is not travel friendly, but okay, you can put Ultron in that little case, and you spin the little thing at the bottom instead of rolling a die. That's cool, I guess. It's just an extra character you can buy, and that's pretty much it. He doesn't really add much to the game other than being an extra character. But Thanos really does. Thanos has that really cool big ship. He moves around the edge of the board. So however you're laying out those cards, Thanos will move around the edge of the cards. And he might do damage to all of the locations next to him. And if you fight a location that he is next to, you do damage to him. I really like how he has that super cool, you push the little button and he rolls the die. Right? The die doesn't always land in that little cup at the bottom, and the die doesn't always really roll, You know, sometimes it just kind of flips, but it's still a really cool addition. And he takes damage on the side, right? Those little things that flip around. And this is another really good example of how this game is really walks the line between toy and game. Like these plastic pieces and the fact that you flip the thing, it really looks and feels like a toy, which means it's very kid friendly. It's bridging the gap between a kid playing with toys and a kid playing a game and actually using their brain and strategery and all that kind of stuff. You know, it's one of those hidden educational things. You know, there's like that clip from Simpsons where once the kids realize what they're doing is educational, they get all angry. They're like, no!
Whoa, a Methuselah rookie card!
Well, boys, who'd have thought learning about religion could be fun?
Religion? Learning? Let's get out of here!
Hey!
It's that same type of thing where the kid's going to be, making strategic moves and doing math and stuff without really knowing it. The only aspect I don't like about this game is the sort of collectible aspect. Like, I don't love the idea of getting kids in that young to that collectible, addictive, I want more, I need more, I want to collect all the characters, I want to spend all the money type of thing. I mean, but granted, Pokemon's been doing that thing for forever, and Magic's been doing that thing for forever. So I guess I can't really fault it too much. At this point, it'd be like saying, I hate that kids like fast food. I mean, yeah, you should try and keep your kids away from that for as long as possible, but whatever. If you live in America, it's on every street corner. At the end of the day, I like this game. I think it's good for a purpose. I think it's a good educational game for young kids. Like all that stuff I said, bridge them from just playing with toys to actually playing a game and using their brains. For a very specific, narrow window of ages, I think it's fine. There are other games that I think that you can play with kids and adults, and the adults can still kind of have a good time. This isn't necessarily one of them. I mean, maybe you have an okay time rolling a die a couple of times, but that gets old real fast. Like, I don't know, I think Rhino Hero is great for kids and adults. I mean, I know it's a very different game, and they're not making as much, they're not using their brain as much, right? They're not making as many mathematical decisions, in a way. So I guess there's some benefit for that, right? Like, while you're not going to enjoy it as an adult, your kids will be doing math, and that should make you happy. That's pretty much all I have to say about it. I'm going to put a purchase link to this game in the description box down below. Also down there's going to be a link for Game Toppers. They're really awesome. That's what most of these pictures have been taken on. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you'll never be bored.